Timecode. The term engenders a question. Is that timecode in computers? Timecode in a phone app? Or the digits in the bottom of a video clip that always start at 0? Well, since the SMPTE timecode standard was adopted in 1969, timecode has been an essential editing part of TV, film, documentaries, and commercials for decades. You might say for TV and film productions, they're deeply rooted in timecode. In recent years, with the introduction of the DSLR camera, pocket cinema cameras, GoPros, and many others, the market has been flooded with a whole new array of cinematic tools, all without timecode input, just an onboard mic input. In a way, timecode has become ambiguous. It's just a time position reference, and it always starts at 0. Not very useful. This in turn has required the industry to adopt new audio sync methods in order to put all the footage together in post. Surprisingly, audio sync has not been the silver bullet method that many had hoped, and when environmental noise and wind interfere, or distance to camera and subject, such as a vehicle mount on a car, audio sync becomes difficult to even impossible, especially when using cameras at long distances, such as phantom copters or tall crane shots. And what about mixed productions with high-end cameras and audio recorders that use timecode input alongside those that do not? We find ourselves coming full circle and asking the question, is audio sync truly our #1 method for syncing all of our production footage in post? Fortunately, it is not. A new device is now available to help bridge the gap between all of these cinematic tools. As SMPTE timecode has stood the test of time, the ability to edit timecode is now returned with a new product by Microframe called the Timecode Sync Master. It is the industry's first pocket-size visual reference with SMPTE signal out, without RF antenna or dedicated cable. Simply connect, jump sync for a few seconds, disconnect, and it stays synced for your production day. Could it be until now this has been the missing link in every production? We'll let you decide. Let's take a look at how it works. Now, the advantage of the Sync Master is that it is a fully compliant SMPTE timecode device that plugs into any legacy audio recorder or camera, as well as being a visual timecode provider. So you've got both the electronic signal out advantage as well as the visual timecode advantage to grab timecode off the first frame on a DSLR. In this example, simply connect and get synced for just a moment. You disconnect, and then you have option to select a device, such as in this case the Sync Master Mini will be synced to the Sound Devices 552 as a dedicated unit. We're using the supplied BNC to 1/8" phono connector and plugging it into the Sound Devices 552 timecode input using the supplied XLR cable that comes with the Sound Devices unit. So the Sound Devices unit has a dedicated timecode input. The audio engineer keeps it with him throughout the production day, and the other devices, larger units if you will, can be dedicated to cameras with timecode input, as well as DSLRs that require visual timecode off the first frame. So there's a huge amount of flexibility in this product. It syncs and stays synced out throughout the production day. The spec with Microframe is it stays synced plus or minus 1 frame of deviation in an 8-hour period. Typically, we've seen performance well into 12 hours. It may vary. It's important to test your units if you're going to push them to the limits. Typically, production teams want to go 4 to 6 hours before changing batteries, and they're checking time code in those periods of time. So has the accuracy for plugging into legacy SMPTE timecode devices, as well as using for visual timecode on DSLRs. So this has been an example and an overview of operation in the field. And as you can see, the SyncMaster has something different in the frames digits. The even and odd digits are split. This is to alleviate some confusion with aliasing, where certain digits would be caught in transition and you just could not figure out readily what the time code was and what frame. So this helps a lot in an industry problem that's been around for years. This is also extremely handy for script supervisors. No more iPhone stopwatch apps. The script supervisor can have an accurate device they hold in their hand, they take director's notes, and it's the same time code going to the cameras and the audio recorders. So next, I want to show how the SyncMaster provides time code and how it's used in Premiere Pro for the editor. So in this test, I had a Sound Devices 552 connected to a dedicated SyncMaster, and it recorded the audio of a test of a young lady singing a song, and it recorded the time code straight to the file. Now I had a Canon 5D as an establishing shot, a Canon 7D off to the side and close up, and a GoPro connected to her guitar. Let's go to the 5D, take it all the way back to the beginning. We have visual timecode. Let's use it. This SyncMaster was synced at the beginning of this performance, and he's telling us he's gonna give us timecode 37. I'm going to choose the 14th frame just because I want to choose the one it's transitioning to. Okay, I'm going to double click on the 7D, do the same thing. Right click, modify, timecode. 6 minutes, 50 seconds, and transitioning frame is 23. Okay, same for the GoPro. Let's do that. Right click, well, take him back to the beginning. Right click, modify, timecode. He's at 6 minutes, dot 26 and 9 frames. There we go. So let's go to a shot where we want to see some action. I chose this point here, 9 minutes, 18:08. Incidentally, you can copy and paste these. Find another clip, paste, go straight to it. Boom, same spot. Let's do that for the GoPro. Select, paste, Control V, paste, and go to the same spot. Let's see what it's playing. Let's see if we got it. See if timecode's working for us. Cool. Okay, let's check the 70 shot. Okay, try the 5D. Wonderful. So we're getting a great start. So let's do a sequence. Take the 5D all the way back to the beginning. I just want to grab everything for the sake of argument. And we're going to grab the Sound Devices audio. We know these are not synced up by just throwing them down on the timeline. What I want to do is demonstrate how without audio, I'm going to delete the audio off the 5D, throw these guys together like that. I have no audio on this 5D clip now. I have just this audio from the Sound Devices 552. Select them both, right click, Synchronize, this is the familiar dialogue we get for audio. However, let's use timecode. And it's syncing it up. Put them together. See what we've got.
Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more.
Beautiful. The audio is synced up wonderfully. So let's take a step back and look exactly what's happened here. We have 3 video clips. We have established time code visually and 1 audio clip from a device that had SMPTE time code in. Why do we trust this? First of all, we're trusting the camera to record the proper frame rate, 23.976 frames per second in this case, just as we did before when it was recording audio as a reference, joined to the video, and then we would sync in with audio after the fact. So removing the audio from the equation, we're looking strictly at the camera's ability to record the frame rate using visual timecode, an accurate visual timecode, and circumventing the problem where audio always lags 1 frame, or I should say precedes 1 frame, the video lags. That's a common problem in 5Ds and 7Ds. So now we circumvent that. We're using more accurate representation in each video clip using visual timecode. So one might be tempted to say, audio sync and visual timecode are providing the same thing, right? No, not at all. Visual timecode is bringing a host of advantages, especially with 3-point editing, which we've known for years to be a standard in editing. Let's look at the example here again with the 5D footage. I'm going to just go back to the start point. You'll notice that this sequence starts at 0, 0. We can find out real quick what that timecode was. I'm just going to double click the footage. It's going to pull up the start point where I am in this timeline where I had clipped it. Let's copy that. We're going to select our sequence tab, right click, start time, and paste. So now I've linked the point in time for this timeline with the time code I've established across the board in all of my source footage. So let's go to the edit point we had been looking at earlier, 9/18/08. Now we're going to set an endpoint. Now with audio sync, we were handicapped. We had no idea where in the world we were on this timeline and how this point in time referenced to any point back in our footage. Here, I can just say, I want this point on my timeline. Let's pull up the 7D footage, paste it in, and here we are at the same location. I'm just going to set an out point there. Let's grab just the video down to the point in time we had established on our timeline. We'll back up a little bit. Let's see how it's synced up.
No more. Carry on, you will always remember. Carry on, nothing sweeter than the splendor. At least your life's no longer empty.
Same thing. We can take this point now, 9:30. I want to know where that is on the GoPro. Easy. Paste. Enter. There it is. Set my endpoint. Out point. Grab the video. We have complete control of all the 3-point editing techniques we've known for years. We are now able to navigate the timeline with timecode and have exact reference back to our footage. So in this simple demonstration, we've shown how powerful timecode has been introduced to the DSLR. We have not attached anything to the camera. We've not recorded anything to any audio channels. We've not inserted any additional post-production transcoding operations to pull timecode off an audio channel to assign it to the file. It was very simple. We had a device that was completely separate from the camera, provided visual timecode accurately. We assigned the timecode in Premiere Pro, and voila, it works. No matter what camera or audio device you use in your production, could it be the Microframe Sync Master is the missing link in your production?